Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am sharing this card which features the Lawn Fawn Snow Bunnies for Simon Says Stamp, which they came out with for Stamptember. So I decided to do some Noline coloring, so I took my Ink on 3 Fadeout Noline coloring detail ink and a piece of Strathmore Bristol to stamp it out, because I am going to color with my Zigling Color real brush markers. So this video is quite long because it is really a lot of coloring, so therefore I will put on some music while I am coloring, which will make it a bit more pleasant for you guys. And I also sped it a bit through because it would be a very long video if I would do it real time. So there were a few images which I wanted to have more of, some because I didn't know if it was gonna work, coloring them in Noline coloring, and then others because I wanted to have more trees. So I will always list down below what I used as colors, so you can see if there are any colors that you like, which they are. And for the rest, I am like always adding my ink on top of the Noline coloring ink, and then I am dragging it out using a damp paintbrush to spread the colors around, and I'm going back in with my inks so that I can create more depth. And this I will repeat on each image. So I'm going to put on some music. If you would have any questions about my coloring or so, you can always leave it below in the comments and I will definitely get back to you about it. And for the rest, I will be back after the coloring. So now that the coloring is almost over, I will continue with my background. Therefore, I cut out some pieces out of Neenah Solar White 110, being a full panel measuring an A2 American size. And then there is also the two borders that you can see. It's from the stitched Hillside borders from Lawn Fawn. I decided to use blues for this background, so I took my Peacock Feathers Distress ink and I blended it on top of the panel. And next up I will continue with my Cracked Pistachio Distress ink, going more towards the snow borders. Then next up I decided that the snow borders should also have a bit of color on top of it, so I took again the Cracked Pistachio Distress ink and blended it on the bottom of the snow borders. For my second border I looked where the smaller border stopped, and there I added my distress ink. Next up I decided to continue with my sentiment from the same stamp set, and therefore I took Distress Oxide ink Evergreen Bough to stamp it out with. So my sentiment contains two parts, being Merry Christmas, and this is on the smallest border. And then on the larger border there is the other part of the sentiment. We wish you a Merry Christmas. So here I am taking the Lawn Fawn Stardust. I adore this. I'm using it almost on every sky for each winter themed card. It's just amazing. Next up I can assemble my card. Therefore I decided to first add my panel onto my card base using my Pritt adhesive roller, and then I added the rest on top of it. So this snow border I am adhering on top of it straight away using the same Pritt adhesive roller, and the next border I will lift up using some 3M Scotch foam tape. and then I can start adhering everything. Therefore I'm using this Lawn Fawn glue tube and also some thin foam squares from Scrapbook Adhesives. There I have lifted the second border. I also had to put some Scotch foam tape behind my images that I wanted to lift a bit up because of the already lifted border. So that was a bit fiddly, but in the end it turned out great. So. Almost everything is adhered, so now I am just adding some smaller details. Not every detail that I colored I am using because some failed a bit in my opinion, but that finishes off my card. I really hope that you liked the card design and you enjoyed watching it. You can always leave a comment below. If you have any questions, please ask, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!